Welcome back, students. Now we are going to do the finite verbs and the non-finite verbs. As you can see on the board, finite verbs are the verbs that change their form with the number and person of the subject. They show the tense and change with the change of tense. Now let's try and understand what is meant by this. I like swimming. Now in this sentence, I is the subject, that is first person singular, and like is the finite verb which agrees with the subject I. Now consider the second example. He likes swimming. Now he is third person singular and likes is the finite verb which has changed its form from like to likes so as to agree with the person, third person singular, he. So you see, a finite verb changes when there is a change of person. As you can see, from first person, when we have seen the third person, there is a change from like to likes. Now not only that, it shows the tense and change with the tense. Say for example, she works at home. She works at home is simple present tense. Now if I change the tense to past tense, let me see how the verb changes. She worked at home. Now when I have changed the tense from present simple present to past simple past, the verb has changed from works to worked. As you can see, the changes are there depending upon the person of the subject and depending upon the tense. Hence we can conclude that these verbs are finite verbs. Okay, I hope you have understood finite verbs. Now let's try and understand non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs do not change their form when the person or the number of the subject changes, and also they are not bound by the tense and subject. Now let's see the examples. I like cooking. He likes cooking. Now in this first sentence, like is a verb which is a finite verb which agrees with the person I, first person singular. Now when I have changed the subject to third person singular, he, the finite verb has taken the form likes. So it is very clear that like is a finite verb as it changes with the person of subject. But do you see any change in the verb cooking? I like cooking. He likes cooking. Cooking verb has not changed with the change in the subject. Such verbs which do not change with the subject when the person of the subject is changed, such verbs are called as non-finite verbs. Now these kind of verbs do not change even with the tense. Say for example, he likes cooking is present tense. Now if I change it to past tense, let's see if there is a change. He liked cooking. Like has changed because it is a finite verb. But cooking, has it changed? It has not changed even in spite of there being a change in the tense. So you see, whether we change the person of the subject or whether we change the tense has not made any difference to the verb cooking. Such kind of verbs which do not change their form with the subject change and the tense change are called as non-finite verb. Now you see on the board, non-finite verbs are of three types: the infinitives, participles and gerunds. Does it ring a bell? We have already seen all these three types of verbs. Infinitives are the verbs which generally come with to plus the bare form of the verb: to swim, to walk, to talk. Participles, as you remember, are the ing form of verb which are used as an adjective, and gerunds are the ing form of verb which are used as a noun. Now see first column, infinitive, she likes to swim. So to swim is not going to change even if we change the subject or the tense. Say for example, from she, third person singular, I make it first person. I like to swim. To swim has not changed because it is a non-finite verb. Like has changed because it is a finite verb. But presently we are not talking about finite verbs but non-finite verbs. So to swim has not changed. Now if I change the tense also, it will not change. She liked to swim. So you see, to swim is not changing in any case. Same is the case with participles, and same is the case with gerunds. Even if you change the subject and the tense, the ing verbs in the second and the third column are not going to change. I hope you remember the participle and gerunds that we have done earlier, and infinitives too. So you see, we can conclude that to plus verb, verb plus ing, verb plus en or ed, that is past participle, are not going to change and hence are called as the non-finite verbs. So will you remember these three types of non-finite verbs? The infinitives, participles, both present as well as past participles, and gerunds. You remember in case of gerund you have to ask a question, what? Swimming is a good exercise. What is a good exercise? Swimming. When you get the answer to the question what, you can be sure that it is going to be a gerund because it is working as a noun. Now in case of participles, I have already told you, when the verb works as an adjective, it is going to be a participle, either present participle or past participle. I hope you have understood this topic. Now let's consider something else. On page number 38 of your textbook, there is a question which asks you to draft a short speech on the topic given. Now the topic given there is, even small things in nature play a big role, so protect nature. Now the question also suggests the steps that you need to follow while drafting. That you have to begin with greeting, then salutation, then introduce yourself, then introduce the topic that you are going to speak on, then the body of the speech, and then the conclusion. And then in the end you will thank the audience and the dignitaries, that is expression of gratitude. So today we are going to see how we can write this kind of short speech. Now my dear students, you have to understand that this is a written speech, and here your objective is to express and convey your opinions, views, knowledge, thoughts to an audience. And also sometimes you will make an appeal, like here in this case you are going to make an appeal to be good to the small things in the nature and protect nature. Now you have to also understand that the speech should be as if you are actually talking to the audience. So your statements must be directly addressed, preferably to the audience. Now let me give you an example as to how you can write this speech. Good morning, respected principal madam, teachers, and my dear friends. Today is 5th June, the World Environment Day. And on this important day, I, XYZ, here you have to write your name. I, XYZ from class 8, I am going to speak on the topic, even small things in nature play a big role, so protect nature. Nature is the most important thing in our lives, and it is because of the nature that we are able to exist. Nature includes humans and even other things such as trees, plants, rivers, oceans. But importantly, it also includes small little things such as earthworms, ants, bees, and so on and so forth, who play a very important role. Let me begin with the earthworms. The earthworm is rightly called the friend of the farmers, as it helps the farmer in many ways. It not only loosens and turns up the soil, but it converts garbage into organic fertilizer. Bees provide honey and are useful in pollination. Dragonflies and spiders bring down the insect population by eating them. Eggs and fish eat the larvae of mosquitoes, which is a great help. There is a lot to speak on this topic, but the important point to remember is that each little thing in nature has an important role to play, and hence it is important to protect every little creature in the nature and to protect the nature itself. I hope I have made my point. Thank you all. Let's see another example of a short speech. You are in standard 10th. Prepare a short speech that you plan to give on the occasion of the send-off party to the students of standard 10th. Now, my dear students, you have to remember all the points that we had seen in the earlier speech: greetings, salutation, introduction, body of the speech, conclusion, and then saying thank you to the audience. Okay, now let's see how we can go about. So here we go. Respected Principal Madam, my dear teachers and my dear friends. I am XYZ, here you will write your name. I am here to speak a few words that come to my mind and heart on this occasion of send-off party. Today is an important day for all of us because it is the day we are going to leave school. My dear friends, how time has flown. We learned ABC here and now we are in standard 10th and about to leave the school. I hope all of us will pass the examination of SSC with flying colors. Some of us may continue with higher education, some of us may seek employment hereafter, but we shall never forget these school years that we have spent here. These were the years not only of great fun, but of successful learning of many important values and skills that I am sure will prove to be a good foundation in future. Our teachers were very much patient with us and were always there for us to clear our doubts. We are very, very grateful to them. A big thank you to all the friends who made these years such a rich experience of life. Once again, a big thank you to all the teachers, and may God bless all of us. Thank you all. I do hope you have understood how to write a speech. These two speeches that I have told you about, do write them in your notebook, and that will be all for the day. Thank you.